Hello everyone and welcome to the Founder Q&A. Today I do have some spicy questions for you that I will be answering as a founder of a business. So this video is made up of multiple questions. The whole timeline is there. You can skip through the timeline and navigate to the question that you'd like to hear me answer. You don't have to watch all of it. Make sure you only listen to questions that you feel like would benefit you. And please leave your other questions down in the comments because I'll be picking the best ones and answering them in the next Q&A video. For those that don't know, I own a creative marketing agency for tech startups. That means I help tech startups and bigger companies post-Series A, sometimes post-Series B, create some really cool marketing content that really is out of the box than the typical marketing that you see nowadays, and it's extremely effective. Now, I've got some questions. I also run this channel and upload weekly videos, so make sure you like, subscribe, and follow me to see how I build in the open, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm recording these videos to show you guys what it's like being a founder, to tell you about the lessons I've learned and the mistakes I've made, and to really kind of shine light on what it's really like rather than what LinkedIn tells you. And I think without further ado, it's about time for my lovely assistant to ask me the first question, which is...
What's the biggest lie founders tell themselves when starting out?
What is the biggest lie founders tell themselves? I think the biggest problem founders have, or at least new founders that are starting out in business, they just visualize success. That's all they see. They think that they will create this company and suddenly they're going to make absolute millions. And they think that because that's basically what social media has told them. And it's absolutely not true. You really have to be able to also visualize the failures, to think ahead and think what could go wrong. Too many people see success, and it's great to manifest success. Bear in mind, I've manifested most of the things I achieved up to date through visualizing that, you know, I'm there, right? I'm already at that stage where I'm running this cool business. So I think that's a very important part, but you have to also be kind of fresh in the mind and be wary that failures do come. And as a founder, you're definitely not going to avoid them. That's like the guaranteed thing that you can know that's going to happen to you. You're going to have failures and things are going to go to shit. And you as a founder need to figure out a way how to get out of them. It's also why so many new founders and founders in general give up. Everyone expects instant success. This is what social media just boasts about all the time. It shows you all these incredible entrepreneurs with these millions of dollars, amazing cars, beautiful bodies, just perfect beings, godlike structures. And it's really not that, all right? It's really not that. You have to know that for a long time, you will probably not have any results, and you have to be okay with that. You have to take it in, you have to process it, and you have to continue, because consistency is what is the winning factor here. Nothing else.
If your company failed tomorrow, what would the real reason be?
Simple answer to that one. It's me giving up. If I'm not there, the company is not there. You know, I'm the founder, I'm the main person that brings the ideas. Currently, the business is mostly bootstrapped. Yes, I hire people here and there to help me with, you know, video editing and kind of any other graphics and design. So I have contractors, but realistically, I'm the business. So if the business was to fail tomorrow, I'd give up. I'd just fire myself.
How many clients are you currently working with at Mensoi?
Currently at Mensoi, we are 2 months into the business and we have 4 clients with 2 new potential clients onboarding the next 1 to 2 months. So we're doing pretty well.
What's one thing about running a business that you wish someone warned you about?
Oh, that's a good one. Luckily, I already kind of did a lot of my research into building a business and how you should prepare yourself. But I think this is where a lot of people fail. Because a lot of people, like I mentioned in the previous question, expect success instantly. They come into the business and they think they're going to make the big bucks. The problem is that you need to sustain yourself for a longer period of time to start seeing any sort of results. That's what happens with most businesses. Again, it's not what you see on social media. Most businesses take time to develop, to grow, to build their brand, and to get some kind of reputation and therefore success. People don't have and bring enough capital to the table to be able to sustain themselves. So you need to start with a business knowing that you can run for the next 6 to 12 months and have the money there to pay all your bills or your finances and sustain yourself and sustain the business. If you don't have that capital in place, you're going to struggle, and 2-3 months in, the business is going to go bankrupt, it's going to fail, you're going to give up and stop the business. And that's where the consistency factor kind of disappears. You need to be able to stay consistent for longer than that. So coming into the business with a good capital and making sure you have a long runway, I'd say 12 months at best, 6 months at the least, is probably what you need to start seeing some success, start seeing some income, and then be able to sustain yourself throughout.
How do you know when you're bullshitting yourself versus when you're being ambitious?
I think there is a very thin line between bullshitting yourself and between being ambitious. And sometimes it's really hard to tell, but there are some very obvious signs. Let's assume that I'm being ambitious and I set myself an X amount of work I want to do. If I know that I could theoretically achieve that goal if I spend more than my usual average time per day working, then that I think is being ambitious. If I tell myself, okay, this week I'm gonna film 6 videos and 5 shorts and write 4 blogs, that is clearly bullshitting yourself. And you really don't want to bullshit yourself. The reason is a lot of people are over ambitious at the beginning and they give themselves too many things to do, right, initially. And then they get to the end of the day and they only achieve a third of them. Then the next day comes, they only achieve a third of them. Then the next day comes and they only achieve half of them. And every single day you feel like you haven't done enough, and it can be extremely deteriorating as a founder. You need to set yourself very achievable goals initially when you're starting a business, because what's going to keep you going is also you feeling like you're doing the right thing and you're getting some success out of it. It doesn't have to be monetary success. You don't have to be making money. It could be the success of you being able to release content or make any sort of progress within your business. And you have to be, at the end of the day, you have to be satisfied with what you have done and what you have achieved, because that gives you the power and the motivation to start the next day and to smash it again. And that next day, you can't set your ambitious goals too far. You can't set your goals too high up. You can't be too ambitious, and you can't bullshit yourself. You have to keep it at a level where you know you're going to be able to achieve it again. And that's what's going to make you a great founder that has the power to absolutely destroy the next couple of months.
What's a habit or mindset that's kept you sane as a founder?
A habit or mindset? Here's the thing, being a founder is a roller coaster. Again, I am 2 months into this business and I've had my super highs, then the next day is super low where I felt I can't do anything. Then some client comes along and gives me something to think about and it's like, okay, maybe I can land them. Suddenly they say no and it's a low. Then you haven't done enough work and it's another low, and then suddenly you get a high because you get a paying customer, and it's just back and forth, back and forth. It's a roller coaster of emotions. The hardest part about the business is not racing against others. Running and being a founder means you connect with a lot of people on social media, you connect with a lot of people in this space, and they might be doing better than you. Some might be doing incredibly better than you, right? Some might be doing impressively more and better than you. And it's very easy to compare yourself against others. And LinkedIn doesn't help with that, because most founders, they just share success stories. Nobody shares what founder life is really like and how they struggle. They'll just share how many millions they've raised. They'll just share how amazing their company is doing and outperforming their expectations. They'll mention how many people they've managed to hire and how amazing those people are. And if you compare yourself, you suddenly end up being in this rat race where you're chasing something that's currently not achievable for you. And it might never be achievable for you, right? You have to have that sane mindset, and you can't set those expectations that high. Yes, it's very probable that you might do really well and you might be even better than them, but you have to be in a mindset where things are somewhat realistic. then you'll feel much happier about your progress, and you cannot compare yourself to others. I personally, I don't race to compare statistics. I'm lucky enough to have gotten my first initial clients very quickly. They give me enough income for me to not have to worry about my expenses and to allow me to continue to run my business. And I'm just taking my time. I'm not racing to get 5-10 new clients every month. No, I'm just improving incrementally, taking those little steps forward. And I feel everything, all these puzzles will just fall into place. If I'm supposed to make 30, 100, and 150,000 pounds per month, I might, and maybe I will. I hope so. That would be really nice. But currently that is absolutely not the case. And that's fine. It is really fine. And you don't have to be making millions right off the bat.
Have you ever had a moment where you thought, I'm done, I can't do this? What pulled you back?
Oh God, this is you touched on a sensitive subject here, because I have a very big pet peeve about this. There is this whole bullshit on the internet about founders being godlike structures that wake up at 4 a.m., exercise, they have this lavish lifestyle, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, G-Wagons, all this fake ass bullshit of them making millions per year, just doing some stupid business that you never hear about. Some e-commerce Shopify thing, or I don't know, selling something. The trait that's overrated for a founder is charisma. People give founders too much charisma, and it's not true. They make them to be perfect in every single way. They're always extrovert, always right, they're the perfect storyteller. But realistically, that is a whole lot of bullshit. I think what makes a perfect founder is for them just to be a normal human being with a great idea and a great plan for its execution. And they can be as normal as they want. If I want to sit on the couch on a Sunday and watch movies all day, I am allowed to do that. I don't have to get up and exercise and ride my bicycle for 150 kilometers a day and show the statistics online to prove myself that I'm a good founder. That is absolute bullshit. I don't have to go ahead and purchase a Lamborghini with my $100 million account and then show off my Patek Philippe and other watches and the whole collection and jump into my swimming pool and take an ice bath in my fancy mansion to prove that I'm a good founder. Stop believing that bullshit on the internet, and you're gonna save yourself a lot of stress, a lot of sadness, and focus on yourself, your daily tasks, and small goals. Then you will truly be happy. I hope that clarifies things. Sorry for being passionate.
What's the most overrated trait people think founders need?
Okay, so I love LinkedIn and I hate LinkedIn. I have this love-hate relationship with LinkedIn, all right? And that love-hate relationship is based on the fact that, like I mentioned previously, every founder shares their whole life story and how amazing their life is with how successful they have been. But realistically, they have more failures than successes, and they won't share any of that. And the most stressful part is probably trying to compare yourself to others on LinkedIn. Well, the short answer is, and I'm not going to say all of the same things again, you shouldn't do it.
Have you ever lost a client? And if so, why?
I haven't lost a client as such. So far, every type of work I've produced at Mensoi and previously, I never actually had a single person complain. Most people were pretty much over the moon. However, I did have a client that wanted a launch video, and we outlined the requirements to them, gave them a price, and they just found it to be too high and wanted to go with someone else who could produce it for less. I actually think our pricing is very adequate. I don't think it's like extreme. But what I do charge for is not doing a half-ass job. I'm kind of OCD about things. I'm a big perfectionist, and I cannot deliver subpar content. I only deliver content that is of very high quality, very thought through, and the work is just done to a really high standard. If a client asks me to compromise for a smaller price to do a half-ass job, I wouldn't do it. I'm very strict on producing great quality content. Yes, if we can take away some of the requirements and still produce a really good outcome, of course, then we can talk about pricing. But when it's like, oh, let's remove the pricing, keep the same amount of work, but just make sure that it's not as good, we wouldn't do that.
What's your daily screen time right now? Be honest.
Daily screen time. I don't spend that much time on my phone, but on average, you're probably looking at 10 plus hours every single day is my average screen time. And that's me being very honest.
What's one thing about you people would be shocked to know with you being a founder?
You know what? I think that question has a very simple answer. And the answer is that I'm just a normal guy. I like to sleep in. I like to watch TV. I like to waste my time watching stupid shit. I don't know. I'm just a normal guy, and I do the same kind of things that everyone else does. Again, just because I'm a founder doesn't mean that I'm any different than anyone else. My goal when I have a team is to be their friend. I don't want there to be this sort of like very strict hierarchy of people. Like, yes, they should know I'm the founder and the owner, but like, let's work together. Like, we are all people and we're all very similar, you know? So yeah, what would be shocked? Well, they probably expect me to be some incredible person that does incredible things, but realistically, I'm just a normal guy that works very hard and has really high ambitions. All right, let's make this the last question.
What's the one non-negotiable in your founder routine? The thing you always do?
Yes. So one thing that you cannot negotiate with me is working on a Sunday. I work very hard Monday to Saturday, 6 days a week. I spend a lot of the time in front of the computer, and Sunday is my day to regenerate, to get away from any device, my phone, my computer, go outside, spend the day, I don't know, cutting grass, chopping some bushes, I don't know, maybe chopping a few trees down, chopping some wood, I don't know, whatever there is to do outside, or just go on a walk or whatever, I'm there. And I want to be away from all of this. There is no one more email. There is no, hey, let me just check my notifications. Hey, let me just check my Slack. No, Sunday is my day off. I completely turn off work. The problem is that if I don't, I end up constantly having it in the back of my head that I need to do something, and then feeling guilty that I haven't done it. And then the fact of having it in the back of my head drains me, but I need to get my energy back. So I just put everything away. The day before, I say, tomorrow, I am not doing anything. I agree with myself that I'm not doing anything, and then I can truly relax. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. Please leave your questions down in the descriptions. I want to have this Q&A every month or every couple of months, just so it gives you an opportunity to ask questions about the business and myself, but also for me to answer some questions that I've learned along the way. Also, please like and subscribe if you like watching these videos. We release a video every single week on this channel that talks about building in the open and building this creative marketing agency for tech startups. All right, well, in that case, if you did like and subscribe, I'll see you in the next video.